And we'll go ahead and do that. So we're recording right now. Okay, so again, this is September the 10th, and we're going over the assignments right now. And we're looking at right now drawing F, which was an architectural drawing. So we have this right here. So we have drawing F, and then scrolling down here, we then have drawing G. Now drawing G was another architectural plan. So we worked on all these, and again, I've got the step-by-step as far as how to do these, and we have those. The next one that we're going to be working on tonight, we're going to be getting into this. This is drawing H. This is where we start to do a few more of the commands that are a bit more, they're more advanced commands. So before we get to the advanced commands, we're going to start with some basic commands. So let me go ahead and go over a couple things here. I have this all kind of spaced out here, what I want to cover. Okay, so I talked about templates, think of templates being a shortcut. The next thing is you want to be mindful of your layers, be mindful of what your current layer is. And the next thing is going to be, I want to show you some study helps that I've actually provided for you guys. So the study helps are actually out here. And let me go ahead and do a new share. So I'm going to go ahead and do this as our new share and share this. Okay, let's see here. Can you guys see Blackboard right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on Blackboard right now, what I've got here is on the very first tab, I've got down here, you've got Autocad Tutorials. You don't have some of the stuff on here because I've not made it. That's actually from last semester, so you guys are not seeing that. But if I go to Autocad Tutorials right here, this is what you have here. I've got these different tutorials. They're videos that I've made, and I've got an introduction to AutoCAD. So if you're just kind of like still kind of lost and you need to kind of figure out, okay, let's just go back to square one. I've got an introduction to AutoCAD video just to go ahead and to open that. And when you click on these, it's going to bring you right out here to YouTube. And I've got a whole library that's kind of building out here. And this is where I kind of get into a lot of the same basic things I talk about AutoCAD. So I get into that. So that's the first one right there. The next one is introduction to layers. I just mentioned layers. So if you need a little bit of introduction to layers, it's right here. Again, it's under AutoCAD Tutorials. You go to introduction to layers. And this is where I get into telling you how to make layers. I demonstrate it. I go step by step. And I'll go ahead and mute that. And going down here, it actually has the mouse going back and forth and doing this. Another thing you can use is it's got audio, but it's also got closed captions. You can actually, it misses some words, but for the most part, it's got all of them. So that's how to do layers. So if you want to know how to do layers, again, each of these is like, 5 minutes long or something. So little snippets. I'm actually getting some people hitting them from different places. So it's like, it's not just my class. A lot of people are starting to hit them. So I think they do answer questions in a pretty succinct way. The next one is the move command. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is the move command. Well, let me go back down to here. AutoCAD tutorial drawing A, I already mentioned to you that I've got this out here. And tutorial A, it goes over very basically, and yeah, it goes through a basic procedure as far as how to do drawing A. So if you need to remember how to do that, it's right there. And then I did the same thing for drawing C. So the goal, again, is to build the content, because what we're doing right now is I find that most of you learn better through video than through books. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing it this way. This is in place of a textbook. Have you guys drop $100 or $200 on a textbook, then most of you won't use too much. So rather than do that, I've done this. Okay, so that's my approach. So make use of the videos. I've kind of gone over quite a bit of detail on these. They're pretty good quality, really. They're quite good quality. Now, one other thing I want to point out here that I did give you guys that I want to point out, okay, and it's this right here. You guys still with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. I just had to make sure you're all still with me. And let's see here. Okay, so let's go down here. I've got this right here. I've got this AutoCAD overview. Now, this is this right here is a PDF. So if I go ahead, if I were to go ahead and just to click on this, or just to click right there, it opens this up right here. And now this one, you actually have to type in your name to get into it. I think you should be able to download this. You should have to put in mine. You should be able to just put in yours, which is all you have to do here. Let me know if you have trouble getting that. But anyway, it's this great document, okay? It's a 92-page document, but it's mostly pictures. And if I scroll down here and show you this right here, it's got these different things like Introduction to AutoCAD, the new features overview. You don't care about that. But then you've got this right here, User Interface Tour. And this goes over, okay, what am I looking at when I get into AutoCAD? It says, upon first opening the program, You can either start a drawing from a template of your choice or open a recent document. So there you have that. And it talks about the areas, about navigating and so forth. Then it gets into AutoCAD Basics. The basics right here, you can click on it and it brings you to the basics and starts to talk about a lot of things that go over in class. But this is a text-based thing. It's a PDF. I'd recommend that you download this and print it. You go ahead and do this. It talks about the command window. A lot of things I've gone over. It's just going to review these. It's going to be a great overview. And we talk about not getting a textbook. Here's your textbook. Okay, here's part of your textbook. So going down here, again, this is called AutoCAD Overview, right up here, AutoCAD Overview. So you can download that. It's a great little document. It was actually produced by Autodesk. It goes over this and tells you a lot of things here. A lot of questions you guys may have, like, how about overlapping objects? And what about just basic geometry and all these kind of things? These are, by the way, you guys can see this, right? You guys are seeing this AutoCAD Overview document?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yes. Thank you for responding. Talks about how to draw a circle and so forth and what these things are. So anyway, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but you get the basic idea that there is some content here. That's actually pretty cool. So back over to AutoCAD Tutorials. I've got all those, so please recognize that's all there. If you're a real geek, you can go into here and download the AutoCAD 2011 command reference. It has every command in AutoCAD that was part of the 2011 release, which is something like, I don't know, 4,000 commands or something. It goes into quite a bit of detail. It's a great reference if you just want to learn more about AutoCAD. I got CAD layer standards. I got another tutorial here which you can download, which actually goes through a lot of steps. So I've got a lot of content out here for you to learn. That's one thing I want to show you. So please go over the AutoCAD overview if you're not familiar. It'll be a good thing to just buttress this. It's real simple. The next thing that we had is on CAD Basics week 2 right here. We went over this stuff last week. We went over the dots drawing and dots 2, dots 1 and dots 2, just learning how to connect the dots. This hospital floor plan was something that I gave you just to experiment with and go around here. So I'm giving you some content here just to work with and kind of figure out how to work with it. That's what these are there for. The AutoCAD interface tweaks, don't forget this. If you are at a place right now where you're starting, you say, you know, I forgot what we need to do here, you can go to the tweaks right here. It talks about the customization, what I talked about in class earlier, the coordinates, the different things you have to have on. Once you've set these up on your command, if you've got AutoCAD on your machine, you won't have to do these again. But this is a great little cheat sheet to get back to the performance the way it should be. So going on down to that, you've got the AutoCAD intro quiz. I said we go over these in class, and we will. We'll go over these right through class. AutoCAD intro quiz and the CAD command quiz and so forth. So we got these. And then I got this object drawing, simple 1 drawing, and simple 2 drawing. Again, this is content I gave you. I've got a tutorial right here. It's a tutorial right here that I actually used. I took it out of some basic books that I have. And what this is 9 pages of basic drawing and editing commands. Another introduction to kind of go through this. So again, I didn't make you guys pay for a book. Here's a great exercise though. You go on here, you print, it's easiest to print it out, but it shows how to do this. You would open up the object drawing. In the object drawing, I have a link to it. You just download, it's an empty drawing, that's all it is. So you open the object drawing and then you draw this, and when you get done, it's gonna look like these shapes that you have here. Okay, so you have all that going on. So that's something that we have going on there. So that's CAD Basics week 1. Some great stuff there. And what I want to do there, so you got the object drawing, simple 1, simple 2, that's all part of this. This is tutorial, basic drawing. So all this is kind of basic information here. The other thing that I wanted to kind of like point out here, let's see here, that's week 1, is we're going to go over these quizzes right now. Let's just do that real quickly. Okay, let's go to the AutoCAD intro quiz. Okay, so if you guys could go ahead and do this right now, go ahead and open your Blackboard. Go ahead and open it up. I want you guys to follow along here. And we're going to go to the AutoCAD intro quiz. It's right here. So again, it is on week 1, CAD Basics week 1. It's called the AutoCAD intro quiz. Let's go ahead and do that. It's a multiple guess or multiple choice. So let's go ahead. Do you guys have that open? Does anyone not have that open?
Doing it right now.
Okay.
If I already did it, do I have to go back?
No. If you already did it, that's fine. If you already did it,
yeah, I did it too.
If you already did it, that's fine. I'm going to go over it in class right now, just so we go over it so you guys understand it. I said in class, you know, don't do them. We'll go through them in class, but if you already did them, that's cool. We'll go through it now and explain exactly what the answers are, so you guys are well equipped. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see here. Dimitri, are you there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Does that mean you're there, or you're just not doing it?
I'm there.
Okay. All right. All right. Because they don't mean the same thing. I've had I've had kids. I know how this works, and some of them are your age and older than you guys. I've got one son who's 33, so I have kids that are older than you guys, I guess. So that's anyway. Okay, let's see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we'll go to the AutoCAD intro quiz. Now, what we're going to do right now is when you start these quizzes, you can go ahead and click continue, which is over here. So I click on continue. And when you get into that, it starts it. Okay, now, that looks like I did the wrong thing. Let me go back there. AutoCAD intro quiz. Okay, click continue. Where is my continue right here? Or cancel. Where's my continue? Let's see here. Okay, I've got to just kind of like drop this down there. Continue. So I'm going to continue. Okay, the first thing is, how do you cancel a command using the keyboard? Does anybody know the answer to that on the top of their head?
Escape.
Yeah, you press escape. So the answer to that is escape. And then moving down here, question 2. What's the quickest way to repeat a command? Anyone know the answer to that?
Spacebar.
You can hit spacebar, but that's not a choice here. So enter is the other one. You're right, though. Spacebar does it. Also enter. Enter. Next one, question 3. How are points specified in the AutoCAD Cartesian workspace? Okay, it's right here. X value, comma, Y value. Okay, X always comes before Y. So X, comma, Y. X value, comma, Y value. All right, so that's that one. Question 4. How do you know if a file has been saved after it is modified? Well, the way you know is because you may not know this yet, but it displays an asterisk next to its name in the file tabs bar. So that's how you know. It displays an asterisk. Question 5. How do you fit the entire drawing in the drawing window? This is something that you may not know yet, but to do it, you double-click the mouse wheel. So double-click the mouse wheel is the answer right there. So once you're done there, you go ahead and click on Save and Submit, and it's going to tell you how you did there. And let's see here. What's it saying to me there? Test submission, click cancel, hit OK. Okay, hit OK to submit it. And boom, you just got it right there. And you would go ahead and click OK to review your results. And then it tells you how you did here. It gives you this right here. And I'll give you response feedback if you got it wrong. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got that. Any questions about any of those at all? All right. These questions, by the way, you may say, wow, these are really easy. Or as we used to say, boy, those are cinchy. Yes, they are. The reason why is I'm trying to get you guys to get in the habit of understanding the very basics and the obvious. So I'm asking questions just so you can get used to getting confident with giving an answer, okay? And you may think, well, I don't need that. You'd be surprised how many people get intimidated by this stuff. So going back to CAD Basics Week 1, back over here, we did AutoCAD Intro Quiz. Let's do the CAD Commands Quiz. Let's do this one. So CAD Commands Quiz, let's all go here. I'll wait for you guys to get there. I'll give you a couple seconds here. We'll go through these, and then we'll do a couple other things. I just want to make sure that these are ingrained and in your mind and in your response here. So we'll go to the CAD Commands Quiz. So go ahead and open that up. Same thing. We're going to begin. Now this one. Okay, this one right here. As far as this goes, let's take a look at this one right here. Which is the particular answer for this one right here? Who knows what that one would be?
Circle.
Yeah, it's circle. So you type in circle, okay? And then we go down here in the enter key, and then we go down here. Question number 2. Anyone know what that one is?
Polyline.
Yeah, Polyline. Yep, and you can get these just by hovering your cursor over it. Now here, let me show you. This is what you do right here. So if I was in a drawing here, hopefully this won't crash. But if you hover your cursor there, it tells you right there, oh, hey, that's a polyline. Okay, and oh, hey, that's a circle. All right. So that's what, oh, you guys can't see that, but that's what I just showed. Let me show you real quickly here so you guys can see that. I'll do the new share, and I'm going to go to here and share this. Okay, can you guys see AutoCAD right now?
Yes.
Okay, so over here, if I hover my cursor over this, I just leave my cursor on top of it. Make sure it's got it here. I hover my cursor here, and it says Polyline. Okay, it's right there. This is all I'm looking for here. Center, radius, but circle is what I'm really after. It's a circle command, and so forth. So that's all I'm after is the main command. All right, so we have that. So let me go back over to here, and I'm going to do a new share. Go back over to here, back to where I was, back over to here. Okay, next thing. So I got Polyline. This one right here, what would that be? Well, this one, you guys may have been deceived by this. Anyone know what this is, though?
Donut.
It is the donut. That's right, donut. That's kind of a fun one. And moving down here, this one is the line command right there. This one right here is rectangle.
Tingle.
What's that down?
No, just
Yeah. So
going through.
rectangle. Then this one right here. Anyone know what that one is?
Move.
Yeah, that's move. And then this one right here. This is the old school command. It's actually,
Offset.
if you've been using AutoCAD for a while, it's offset. And then this one right here is copy. That's what the command looks like. It looks like a circle copying into one white circle, becoming two blue circles. And this one is mirror. Like that. And let's see here. This last one is rotate.
Rotate.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. So once you're done, you go to save and submit, and you say, okay, and then it tells you, okay, how do we do here? Let's take a look. And it tells you right here how you did, how you got these points, and it tells you 1 out of 1, goes out of 3. 10 out of 10, I guess I made some of these worth more. Okay, so we got all those. So that's what we got right there, and that's good to go. We have done that. So we did those two. So now we did the AutoCAD intro quiz, the CAD command quiz. There's one more. This is matching object snap markers. Now let me show you what I mean by this. What do I mean by object snap markers? Well, when you're in AutoCAD, if I'm in a drawing like this, and if I was doing this right here, I actually have Mr. Henry's drawing. Let me just go ahead and use something else instead. Let me go to this one. And if that'll let me without crashing and burning on me, let's close this one. And we'll go ahead and we'll go to this one if we can. Interesting. All right, let's just go to this if that'll open. All right, let's go ahead and open that. Okay, so I'm in this one right now. Now here's one thing I want to point out. If I want to draw, okay, you'll notice when I click on that, it's got 2 endpoints and a midpoint right there. If I want to draw a line from the midpoint, I would need to use the midpoint object snap. Now the object snaps, once again, are right down here. You'll notice where I'm hovering my cursor, if I click here, it's this square with a smaller square on it. These are your object snaps. And this is where you turn your object snaps on and adjust them. So you got endpoint, midpoint, center, intersection, extension. They're all right here. So that means those are what are active right now. So if I start my line command, I'm going to close out of here. If I start my line command, I could actually start from an endpoint like this. And then at that point, I could go to another endpoint, just going right down to here. And that allows me to do that. And then I can right-click my mouse and choose repeat line. And now this, I can go ahead and pull it up here and click it right there. And you can notice right there that the shape of the midpoint is a triangle. So you got a triangle right there. I pull it right down here and do this. Now I'm going to start my line command again. I'm going to hover it over here right now. And I also get a midpoint on here because midpoints also are referenced by arcs. Arcs have midpoints too. So I click there and I go from midpoint to endpoint. So you get the basic idea right there. And then if I wanted to get an intersection, I can hover right here and look at this. It shows a little X right there. That's your intersection. So those are the basics right there. So those are what you have happening right there. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back over to here. And I'm going to go back to here. We'll do one more. We're going to do these matching object snap markers. And I'll go to here. Now the object snap markers right here, I'll let you guys get there. Matching O snap markers. We're going to go over these. And again, this is a review so that you guys understand what you're looking at. It's vocabulary. Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. That's what we're working on right now. So going to here right now, we'll do the matching O snap markers. We'll begin. What we're going to do right here is this first one right here is this question. Anyone know what the square is off the top of their head? Anybody know? Can you guys hear me?
Endpoint?
It is endpoint, yes. And by the way, it's easy to figure this out by just going here. And if you just look at these, so here's your little cheat sheet right here. Your cheat sheet is right there. There's your endpoint, there's your midpoint, and so forth. So they're all right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go.
Yeah, see your screen.
What was that now? Oh, yeah, I didn't do that. Okay, let me go back there. Go back to AutoCAD. So back to AutoCAD right here. And what I've got right here is when I click on this, right down to my object snaps, and I look at this right here, you'll see that right next to the particular object snap to the left is a shape. Endpoint is a square, midpoint's a triangle, center is a circle, and so forth. So they all have those right there. Thanks for the heads up there, Julius. And so back over to here. So we'll continue on there. So this one right here is what? Does anyone remember what the triangle is?
Midpoint.
You got it. Yep. And then the next one is this one right here. The circle is actually a center. That's a center. This next one right here, this one's kind of a tricky one. This is for a node. A node is something that we may not even get to too much, but it uses what's called a point, all right, in AutoCAD. We won't probably get to points too much, but that's for your node right there. For question number 5, anyone know what this one is off the top of their head, the diamond? You guys can look at it AutoCAD if you want to and find out that way.
Quadrant.
Quadrant, you got it. Very good. All right, and then this next one, anyone know what that one is?
Intersection.
You got it. Okay, and then this one.
Insertion.
Yeah, that's right, insertion or insert. And the insertion point. And then this one right here is this one. Let's see here. What is that one? Let's see here. That one right there. I believe that one. Let's go back to here. Let's find that out. All right, let's find out what that one is. That one might be perpendicular. Let me find out. Okay, so go to here. We'll go to new share. Let's find out. And because off the top of my head, they change these from release to release sometimes. We'll go to here. Let's find out what that one is. That one would be, yeah, it's perpendicular. Perpendicular right there. So that's perpendicular. All right, so we'll go back to here and back to here. And so that's what I'm just trying to get you guys to see how to do is you can always get your answers. By the way, another thing I'm trying to get you guys to see here is that if you don't have someone around to ask, you can get the answers right from AutoCAD. This one is nearest. I'll just give you that one. Nearest. And then this one is parallel. Parallel. All right. So those are what they are right there. So again, we'll go through them quickly. Endpoint, midpoint, center, node, quadrant, intersection, insert, perpendicular, nearest, and parallel. Save and submit. And hit OK. And hit OK again. How did we do here? All right. Oh, I should have wrote insertion. Okay, I should have wrote insertion. Oh, well, my bad. Not a problem. Then we'll go ahead and hit OK. All right, so we're good to go there, and that's it. So that's what I was after for those right there. So those are the quizzes right there, and that's what I want to get into. So that's kind of a quick review of some of the things about AutoCAD. And then you know about the tutorials. I went over that. And yes, so we've got a light going on. So that moves, now we're going to move on to the next thing here. I wanted to cover that. Now we went over some of the CAD basics, the study help, and what we're going to do right now is I went over all the different things that are available, the different tutorials. Next thing I'm going to do right now is I went over the Autocad overview. I want to make sure I'm covering all this stuff because I wrote all these down. Autocad 2011, yeah, we got that. Basic commands, okay. Basic modify commands. Yeah. Okay, went over this. Yeah. Okay, next thing, basic modify commands. Okay. So what we're going to work on right now is how to modify items in AutoCAD. How do we do that? How do we modify items? How do we go ahead and how do we make them work? How do we move things? How do we do that? Well, what we're going to do right now is again, one of the things I have here in my AutoCAD tutorials right here, and I should probably name that AutoCAD video tutorials. But anyway, up here, most of these are video. I've actually got the AutoCAD move command out here because the move command is foundational. Once you have the move command under your belt, the rest is all pretty easy. So you've got the AutoCAD move command right there. So we'll go ahead and we'll work on this right here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. We're going to talk about the move command. So what I'm going to have you guys do is the particular drawings that we want to work with right now are actually out here. AutoCAD intro assignments, let's see, are they or on the week one? Let me find out here. They are actually on, okay, they're on week 2. So let's go to AutoCAD intro assignments week 2. And when we go to week 2 right here, you'll notice that there are a bunch of CAD files. I'll wait for you guys to get here. Are you guys seeing Blackboard right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So out here in Blackboard, I'm here under week 2 CAD files. I want you to take a look here. And you're going to see that there are these same ones we looked at on the first week, dots too, but there's some others in here. And I put these in here. These are drawings for you to go ahead and to kind of like tear apart. They're kind of like, think of them as sandboxes. You can go in here and work on these. So I'm going to, depending upon the class, I kind of center on some of them. Others, I let them go. So tonight we're going to work on one right here. So let's all go out here and we're going to open the select drawing right here. Let's open the select drawing. We're going to do something here. So let's all do this together. Open up the select drawing. It's green down here. You'll scroll down here. It's on week 2 at the bottom, select drawing. And it's actually called the select drawing. So you click on it, it's going to download it. And it's going to be right here. So it downloads. So once it's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and going to go here. And what I'm going to do, save changes. No, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open out of my downloads. So I'm going to go out here. I'm going to go ahead and find that. So mine, I just downloaded it. So it goes to my downloads automatically. That's just the default. That's how Windows does things. And I'm going to open the select drawing. So go ahead and open the select drawing. All right, looks like this. Go ahead and open that up, you guys. Does anyone not have this open? Anyone having difficulty with this?
Yeah, I
Mine's
can't.
still opening.
What's that now?
I'm still looking for it.
Okay, so it's right on the, okay, you mean you can't find, the other way you can do it, you could just double click on it and it should open right up because you guys only have 1 release of AutoCAD. I've got like 8 releases of AutoCAD on my machine. So I download the template, that's the best process, but you can also just double click on the template, it should open AutoCAD right up. So give that a shot. Okay, so anyway, going back to here, let me go ahead and go back to screen share. Okay, so what you're going to do is right from here, you are going to do this. Let me do that again. That didn't work. Going over here. Okay, okay, this is okay. Are you guys seeing Blackboard right now?
Yes.
Yes.
So with Blackboard, what you're going to do is you're going to go here to week 2. And up here under week 2 CAD files, it's right there. Week 2 CAD files. You're going to go there. You're going to click and open that up. When you open that up, down at the bottom, you'll see select drawing, and you should be able to double click on it. Has anyone been able to open it, or is this impossible for all of you?
I got it open.
I have it open.
Yeah, I have it open.
Okay, so everyone's got it open. Okay. Okay, is that working okay for you? For everyone? Okay. Julia, is that working now, or still? Are you seeing this right now?
I can't see AutoCAD on your screen. Are you showing it?
No, I'm showing Blackboard right now. Did you?
Okay.
Did you double click on select drawing right now?
Yeah, but it didn't open.
Okay, it probably downloaded it then. So what you would do then is you'd open up AutoCAD. So we go to AutoCAD, and so I'll go ahead and open up AutoCAD. And in AutoCAD, let's see here. Okay, screen. Okay, let's do this. Okay, try this. Great. All right, can you guys see AutoCAD right now? No, you can't. All right, let's see if we can share. Can you guys see AutoCAD right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what you got right there? Okay, so I'm just going to go through this anyway. This is also, I've got all this on the video. So we're going to go through this. We're recording it anyway. So we're good to go. Okay, so now that we have this right here, how are we doing here? Looks like we are recording right now. Yep, we are. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to start the move command. And I'm just going to show you how to use the move command. So let's go through this step by step. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this right now. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and start the move command. Now the move command is, let me point it out here. It's actually located right up here. The move command, let me go ahead and draw that out one more time. All right, it's right here. It looks like this. Okay, move. All right, and looks like kind of like a compass. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to start that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and grab that. So we start the move command. Now notice that when you start the move command, what does it ask you?
Select object.
Select objects. Now stop for a second. What it's saying right now is it's asking you to select objects. Now we've seen before there's several different ways to do this. You can either select a single object or you could select all these objects, okay? Just to give you an idea right now, we're going to get to selecting multiple, but right now we're just going to click on one. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go down here and we're going to click on this right here. We're going to click on this one right here. So you go ahead and you click. Now, once you click on it, it turns blue, okay? Now you're going to notice it still says select objects, okay? AutoCAD has this kind of a response. Whenever you're looking to do any kind of editing, it's going to think you want to do more than one at a time. So what we got right here is we did select objects and it turns blue. Does everyone have that right now?
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay, good. So you got that. So it says select objects. Now, to tell AutoCAD you want to get to the next step of the command, in other words, you're done selecting objects, you hit your enter key or you right-click your mouse. They both do the same thing. I'm just going to right-click my mouse. Boom, I right-click my mouse. Now, full stop. Notice my hands are not on the mouse, okay? I'm going to read what AutoCAD says. What's it say now? Once you hit your enter key, what's it say now?
Base point.
It says specify base point. In other words, it wants you to pick a base point. It wants you to do this. So now you're going to pick a base point. Now let's stop. Before we do anything, this means what is the logical point that we would pick on a circle to move it? What would be the most logical point to pick on a circle?
The center.
The center. So if you hover your cursor over this, you'll see that your green circle shows up because your object snap should be on right now. If they're not, then you check down here and it's right here. It's this tool right here. It's the square with the other square. You check them and you make sure you got endpoint, midpoint, center, intersection, extension. You want to make sure that you got those on, okay, just so that you have it. So again, center is what you want. So you have that. Now, it says specify base point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click here. Now, once I click there, it says something else. Start to move your cursor a little bit. Now my hands are off it. Now what's it asking you to do? Once you've picked the base point, what's it ask now?
Specify second point.
Specify second point. Where do you want it to go? Well, we want it to go just right on the midpoint of this rectangle. So you slide it up until you see a triangle. Notice my hands are not all over the mouse. I pull it up, it finds the object snap, and it locks it in, okay? It does kind of a temporary locking, says, hey, it looks like you want to put it here. And that's what I want. So once it's there and I see the triangle, I click, boom, done. That is how the move command works. So you have these different steps. So you have to get in the habit of reading the AutoCAD screen to understand what it's asking you to do. Now, as you get into this, after you've done it once or twice, well, more than once or twice, but once you've done a couple drawings, you're going to say, oh, okay, yeah, it's asking me this, and you won't even have to look at it. I work with AutoCAD right now, typing my commands without even looking at it anymore because I know what the responses are. So this starts to become ingrained in you as you get along with it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, here's something cool now. So went ahead and did that. Now to repeat the command, what we do is we right-click your mouse. If you right-click your mouse right at the top of your shortcut menu, you'll see repeat move. All right, you'll see that right there. Or you can start the move command by clicking on the icon again. But we'll just go right here, repeat move. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go down here. We're going to click on this circle. We click on that circle. And once you clicked on it, it's still saying select objects. How do we tell AutoCAD we're done selecting our objects?
Right click.
You can right click or you hit your enter key. By the way, that was a fake snore. I just want to make sure you guys are listening. So we're gonna right click. Okay, now the next thing is specify base point. We're gonna do exactly the same thing we did before. What's the logical base point of a circle? The center. So we hover our cursor over here till we see the center and we click. And then it says specify the second point. We're gonna drag it up until we see the midpoint and we park it right there. And once we see the triangle, we click.
Actually, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How can I get that triangle? I'm not seeing it. I just see an X.
Okay, this is why. Go down here and look at your object snap settings down here. Okay, do you have a check mark next to midpoint?
Now I do.
That'll do it. That'll do it. And so your object snaps are something you always want to pay attention to because they are going to either help you or mess with you. Remember what I said at the very beginning, we talked about the AutoCAD tweaks. One thing I should have gone over here, here's something you might even want to take a picture of. In other words, get your camera out right now. If you can, get your camera out. And what I want you guys to do is take a picture of this. Take a picture of that. That is the default setting of your object snaps. Your object snaps should look like this, or you can do a screen capture however you want to do it. But those are the 5 that will get you through probably 95% of all your projects ever from now till the end of time. That's all you're going to need. Okay, so that's what you're going to work on. So that is what you want. Those 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Endpoint, midpoint, center, intersection, extensions. So you want those 5. Okay, I'm assuming you have written that down or taken a picture or whatever. Okay, so we're going to hit, we're good to go. So now that we've done that, we're going to continue to repeat this. We're going to right click our mouse. And now you're going to notice that I've got to go down here to recent input. And then I see the command right here. So sometimes if you've done a command enter between the last 2, then you got this right here. So I'm going to go right click and go, or I can just go ahead and click it, but you can use the shortcut. I'm going to do the same thing. And now I'm just going to kind of like, again, I click on the object. When I'm done selecting, I right click. I pick the base point, which is the center, and I drag it up to the midpoint. And I just do that for each of these. And as you do this, you're going to kind of like get into, you're going to be kind of getting click happy. And you're going to see that you're doing a lot of right clicking and so forth as you go through there. So that's what you have there. And let's go ahead and move that, that entire row up to that first point right there. And this is how we begin to move. This is how we begin to use the move command. So the move command is the most basic of all the commands. Okay, so we got that right there. So we got the move command. So now that we've done that, we've got a basic idea as far as how the editing commands work. Because, as I said, once you have learned how to use the move command, the rest are all just like it. The rest are all just like it. You just have to understand what it's asking, and it's not hard. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is right now. Now, again, I'd mentioned to you before that I have a tutorial about using the move command. Everything I just showed you is available in a video. So if you need to go over this again, I can do that. And I even have the drawing out there. It's called Arrange A. If you want to use Arrange A, you can actually go through the same exercise. All right. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to use the copy command. Now, where's the copy command? Well, the copy command is actually located. Come on, you. Okay, the copy command is right here, right underneath the move command. It's right there. We see it right there. So that's it. So we're going to go and we're going to start that there. And we're going to go ahead and go there. And what we're going to do is we're going to start the copy command. So start the copy command. And now it asks us, what do you want to copy? Well, what we're going to do right now, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of just picking one object or picking them one at a time, I'm going to make what's called a crossing. I'm going to select all 5 at once. So to do that, I click my mouse here. And you'll notice that when I do this, it starts to become a green selection rectangle. So if you click and hold the mouse down, it'll give you an irregular shape. All right, so if that's happening, that's okay. You can just go ahead and you can hold it down and do it this way too. It works both ways. So you can do it that way, or click and let go and do it this way. But you want to click all 5. So when it says to select objects, you can either click on them one at a time, or you can select them all like I did right there. So we just went ahead and did that. So that's what we have right there. So now once we selected our objects, how do we tell AutoCAD we're done selecting objects?
Enter.
You hit your enter key or you hit your right click. They both do the same thing. So you right click or you hit your enter key, they both do the same thing. Now, specify base point. Now we talked about circles. What is typically the best base point for a circle?
Center.
It's center. So I'm just going to grab one of the centers here. I'm going to click it right here. I'm going to click there. And then it asks to specify the second base point. It's going to be right up here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to park it right there. Boom. And when I do that, it's done. Okay? And then I hit my escape key. So I'm just going to copy those, you know, just to do that. My phone is going crazy. I don't know why. It's okay. Well, my lovely wife just stopped in. She says hi. She's all right, so something's going on with something. Anyway.
Just printer ink.
Oh, printer ink. Okay. Very good. Okay, so we got that. So we went ahead and did this, and we went ahead and did that copy command. Any questions about move or copy at this point?
No.
Okay, we're going to continue on here. Now, here's the thing. Each of these commands, you're going to see they operate just the same way. Did you notice that the copy command, it was the exact same sequence? You start the command, you select the objects, you right click when you're done, you pick a base point, you pick your second point. It's all the same thing. And the rotate command is similar, except with the rotate command, we're going to type in an angle. We're going to type in an angle. So you see how this goes. So the rotate command, where is that rotate command? Okay, let's find that. The rotate command, it would be
Right next to move.
You got it. That's right. Thank you. So the rotate command is right here. Rotate is right there. I'm going to point it out to you guys. I always do this just because there's a lot of new learners here, and but it's right there. So we're going to go with rotate. Now, how do we make this work? We click on rotate. Now, when you click on rotate, it asks us what? Select objects, okay? So this is all going to be the same over and over again. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to pick 3 objects. We're going to pick this circle, this rectangle, and this circle. We're going to click those 3. Boom, 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 click those 3. All right, now once you click those 3, and if you picked one you don't want to click, you can either, if you want to deselect something, let's say I clicked on this accidentally. I can unselect it by holding my shift key down and clicking on it again. That's something a lot of CAD people don't know. But if you select a bunch of things you don't intend to, you can hold your shift key down and deselect them. So anyway, all we want selected are the 2 circles and the rectangle on the far right. Now, once we are done selecting our objects, how do we tell AutoCAD we're done?
Escape.
Right click.
Not escape. Escape will get us out of the whole thing. How do we tell?
Well, that's done.
What's that?
Right click.
Right click. Thank you, Julius. Very good. So you right click. Now, we're going to do the same thing. What's the best base point? I'm not doing anything tricky here. We're going to use the center of this bottom circle right down here, which is also midpoint. So it might give you a circle, it might give you a triangle. Both are the same point because they're what they call coincident or coincident. They coexist in the same location. So we go ahead and we click there. Now, once you've clicked, so you go ahead and click that midpoint. Watch this. You can go ahead and do this. You know, and if you want to, you can go ahead and put some Calliope music in there or something, you know, or your particular music of choice. But you can keep on doing this forever, okay? But in any case, you'll eventually get tired of that. You actually have to type in a distance or pick a point. And wherever you pick, it's going to go ahead and put it there. But I want to put it at an exact distance. So this is where I can type it in. I'm going to type in 345 for 345 degrees. So type in 3, 4, 5. You just type in those numbers and hit your enter key. And when you do that, it goes ahead and performs that rotation. So 3, 4, 5 is the rotation. So we got that right there. All right, and we're going to repeat that for each of these right here. And the reason you can't do them all at once is because each of them is going to have a different base point. That's why. So we'll start the rotate command again. We're going to rotate, and we're going to select these items: circle, rectangle, circle. And once I've selected them all, I right-click my mouse. My base point's going to be here. Click on the base point, verify that it's actually asking me for the point, and I type in 3, 4, 5, and hit enter. And this is how I go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to continue on this, and using any other tools that I know, I can go ahead and put these into the proper rotation, just like I'm doing here. Go ahead and do this. So again, that angle is 345. And that's the rotate command. Again, same kind of syntax. Start the command. It asks you to select objects. You select the objects. Hit the enter key when you're done, or you right-click your mouse. Spacebar too would work. And then after that, you would actually pick a base point. And then in this case, you can either pick the point of rotation by clicking with your mouse or typing in a value. In this case, we typed in 345. Guys are doing great. Any questions about the rotate command? Nope. Okay. I'm assuming you guys got that okay then. Okay. Did that work? Okay. Let me just ask you this. Did anybody get that to work okay?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
I believe so.
And I realize that this is a bit of repetition. I want to make sure that you're clear on it. Okay. So now that you got that, the next thing we're going to do right now is we're going to work on the next of these commands, which is going to be scale. So scale command is actually right here. Scale command is actually right there. That's a scale command. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to start the scale command. So we click on scale. And when you start the scale command, you're going to notice a strange symmetry. Select objects. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this first circle right here. We're going to select this first circle. So we go ahead and we click on this circle. Now, once you've selected that first circle, to tell AutoCAD we're done, we're going to right click or hit our enter key or hit our space bar. They all do the same thing. Now it says specify base point. Again, the logical base point is the center. So we go ahead and we click here. We grab that center. Now at this point it's doing this. Okay, it's letting us make it larger or smaller. I can go ahead and make it larger or smaller. I'm just going to type in 0.5. A value that is less than 1 will reduce the particular object. A value more than 1 will enlarge it. So that's how the scale command works. So when you type in 0.5, it makes it half its size. So that's how the scale command works. I'll do that again. We'll go ahead and go to scale, click on an object, right click, the base point, and 0.5. And you'll notice that it prompts you right through. The commands are asking you everything as you go right through here. It's going to ask you every step of the way. So you just got to get in the habit of reading your command line so you know what to do next. It will tell you. And there's lots of help in AutoCAD. We showed the help last week. So go ahead and work on scale. And let's see if you guys can get that going. I think you can. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing after that. Okay, did anybody get the scale command to work okay?
Yep.
Even once. All right. And the thing is, if you don't get all of them, I'm just doing this to kind of like show you how to do it, you know. So the whole thought about this right now is just to kind of like understand what's going on right here and understand the basics. And again, reading the command line, reading the prompts, and understanding what AutoCAD wants you to do. AutoCAD is going to walk you through these steps. I just want you to understand what it's asking you to do. Next thing is going to be mirror. Very last one is mirror. Now the mirror is also located in the same location. I'm going to go ahead and go to mirror. Okay, so we go to mirror, which is right here. Mirror is right there. And by the way, these 5 editing commands, if you know these, you can pretty much do just about anything in AutoCAD. So no matter where you're at in AutoCAD, these are going to serve as your foundation. So we're going to use the mirror command. So we're going to clear all the drawings right here. And if you guys can see that, I don't know if you can or not. But I'm going to go ahead and go to mirror. Now watch this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now to do this, all I did is I used my mouse wheel and I pulled it towards me, and that zoomed out. And that allows me to zoom in or zoom out right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit because I made myself a little room. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror this whole thing, this whole enchilada, this whole schmear. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mirror it. Now, so to do that, I go up here and I click on the mirror command. Now, when I click on the mirror command, it says select objects. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use the green selection tool called a crossing. I'm going to select everything. So that means I click with my mouse here to the upper right and I pull it down to grab everything. So I click one point, I click the other point. If that didn't work for you, you can just go ahead and hit your escape keys to try it again. Just try it a couple of times, make sure you have it. So once you've got them all selected, it'll look like that. Everything will be highlighted with light blue. So you're going to have that right there. So you've got that highlighted. Now, to move to the next prompt, how do we move to the next prompt? You guys know? Yeah, you right click. You right click. Now, here's the thing. Now, when you're working with the mirror command, the way it works is like this. You guys are probably all in your youth, or if you have youths at your house, basically you may have done a thing where you actually made Valentines, okay? Which is where you would take a piece of red construction paper, fold it in half, and then you'd use a pair of scissors to cut it out. And when you cut it out, you only cut out half of it. And then what you do is you cut it out, and then the fold is where the other half of the heart would show up. That's how the mirror command works. So the mirror command is asking you, where do you want to fold the paper? So now that we selected, we're just going to pick a point right here. right there, which is an endpoint. We're going to click there. And then we're going to drag, now that's the first mirror point. Now we're going to drag it straight down. Look at that. And when you pull it straight down, it gives you a preview of what's going to look like. I didn't even click yet. Okay, I didn't even click yet. And so what I do is I pull it down until it looks like it's supposed to, like that. You'll get a preview. Now, if it looks like that, you just pull it down until it's like looks like that. And you click on your second point. Boom. Now, once you've done that, it's going to give you a prompt. It's going to say, hey, do you want to erase the source objects? And what it means by that is that, do you want to keep what you're mirroring, or do you just want the mirrored result? Well, in this case, we do want them both. So we'll just say, no, we don't want to erase it. We're going to keep. And that is how we use the mirror command. That's mirroring right there. So you got that. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go ahead and do a couple more mirrors here just to kind of get this kind of back to where it should be. So I'm going to mirror a couple times. And this is just simply to get you guys used to the idea that you can use the mirror command and you can mirror anything. Okay, in this particular case, I'm picking everything. I feel like Bob Ross. Yeah, you can mirror anything. You got a little cloud. You can, you make a mistake. Yeah, you can make a little cloud, If you're familiar with Bob Ross, and maybe my very bad Bob Ross impression, but if you've seen Bob Ross, he's very calming. Anyone here watch Bob Ross at all?
Yeah, I try to do things with them.
Well, Bob Ross, you know what's really interesting about Bob Ross? Did you know Bob Ross was actually in the Air Force? He was a drill instructor, and he was screaming at people all day. I'm serious about this. He was stationed up in Alaska, and he said, I'm going crazy. This is just too much stress. And he took a painting class, and he became Bob Ross. Crazy story. But yeah, and he hated his afro, by the way. He hated the afro, but he had limited funds, and so all he had money for was to get an afro, so he decided to give it a shot. And that's when they decided to kind of like put his likeness on like some intro for a show. And after that, he said, okay, hey, except I don't like the afro. They said, well, you're kind of stuck now, buddy. It's your trademark. And so he had to stick with it. Anyway, there's a little Bob Ross information. So as you're working with AutoCAD, you're kind of like Bob Ross because you can take anything and make anything you want it to be, within reason. So anyway, there you have it. So that is how you have that. I'm going to stop and ask you guys, are there any questions right now? We're going to take a little break right here because I've learned that the brain can only absorb what the seat can endure. So are there any questions about any of these move, copy, rotate, scale, or mirror? Any questions about these right here?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how did you like flip it. Mine won't flip, it just like stretch.
Okay, let's go over that again. Okay, so going back to here, what you do.
Oh wait, never mind. I was using the wrong thing.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Terrible.
And okay, well, good. And the thing is, yeah, so what you got there, I just redo that. Okay, good. So what you got as you go along here is you get to the point where you're able to kind of like control the drawing. Any other questions, by the way, about this before we take a little break?
I am actually stuck for a second.
Yeah.
When it comes to the rotate, every time I right click, it seems to have an issue. So I'd rather just click on the icons. So I have one rotated and the rest not.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and let me do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to save this as select -town. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the other one. I'm going to go ahead and open select 3. What the heck? It's right here. All right, looks like this. Okay, so what you're saying is okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, we'll just do this. What the heck? All right. Okay, so what you're saying is you started the rotate command, you pick these 3 objects, you right-clicked, and then you click the base point, and you type in 3, 4, 5, hit enter. You got the first one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now this next one, we start the command again. So you can right click and go to repeat, rotate, or you can just go up here and click on rotate. Both will do the same thing. Okay. By the way, if it doesn't show up, you can look under recent input. It might be there. But you don't have to right click. You can just go ahead and just go to rotate. That's a shortcut. And then once you've done that, you just go through the same steps. You pick your objects, and there's 3 of them, 2 circles and 1 rectangle. And then you right click. and then you pick a base point, and then you tell it the value, 3, 4, 5, like that. Give that another shot. Let me know if that's working a little better for you there, Kelly.
It just erased it after I press enter.
It erases after you press enter. Okay, let's do this. Tell me what, okay, undo it. Control Z will undo it. Let's go ahead and undo it. And do you still have those objects just like mine right now?
Yes.
Okay, let's focus on this one right here. Let's start the rotate command. Again, let's make sure we're picking the rotate command. Make sure you're up here and click on rotate. Okay, make sure you don't have any commands going right now. So check your command line, make sure that there's no command. It should say type a command down here. If you have a command going, hit your escape key. All right? And let me know when you started the rotate command.
Okay.
All right, does it say rotate select objects?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and go through this. Pick the circle, the rectangle, and the circle. 1, 2, 3. Let me know when you've got them all selected.
Okay.
All right. Now, how do we tell AutoCAD we're done selecting?
Enter.
Enter or right click. Yep. And then it asks to specify a base point. What do we say the best base point is for all these circle type things?
Center.
This, yeah, the center. The center. Kelly got it. So right here, see this right here?
Okay.
So go ahead and click on that point. And once you click on that point, you'll see that it's rotating around. Is that working for you right now? If you move your cursor?
Yeah, there it is.
All right, and then go ahead and type in 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, hit enter.
Okay, I got it.
Got a waiter? Okay. So again, the whole thing about this is when you're with AutoCAD, part of it is learning what AutoCAD's doing. AutoCAD has a little bit of a learning curve in the interface. Okay, I'll grant you that. However, once you understand what those particular things are, it gets a lot easier. So just learn not to fight it. Learn to read the cues. Learn to kind of like immerse yourself. Okay, just it's gonna win all its arguments. So you might as well just do it its way, and just kind of learn to go through the prompts and understand what the prompts are. It's my job as your teacher to tell you what the prompts are going to be, and for you to understand what they mean, so that you can put in the appropriate content for your particular projects. That's my job. Your job is to do it. Your job is to read and understand what's going on. If you just try to jump through and just start poking on stuff, that's the fastest way to get really upset with AutoCAD, because AutoCAD doesn't work that way. AutoCAD wants a dialogue. It wants to talk about it, you know? So we'll stop it right there. We're gonna park the bus for a second once you guys get off and use the restroom or get some coffee. And we'll come back in 5 minutes and we'll continue on here. So take 5 minutes and we'll come back and we'll continue on here. And you can go ahead and put on some music, whatever you want to. Just mute yourself. Okay, see you guys in 5. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. I had one one student who could not get in, and I just want them to send them another link, so hopefully they'll not have a problem with it. Okay, we're going to continue back on here. You guys are doing great, and what we're going to do now is we're going to move into the next thing. We talked about the editing commands, the basic editing commands. So we had those, and now you got a foundation. And here's something I want to show you. Again, I try to give you lots of content in lieu of having to buy a book. I give you videos, I give you other content. So make use of those things. Of course, I can't make you. It really comes down to what you want to learn. If you want to become proficient, if you're just doing this for 2 credits, then you probably aren't going to touch it. If you really want to learn this stuff, or later on you say, oh man, you know, I'm employed now, I should know how to do CAD. You've got these different videos as a resource. So they're out there, they're on YouTube, I own them. And so we're going to go ahead and keep on doing that. So we will move on. Here we go. So what we did there is we covered a few things. We went over what we did last week. Now we're going to be moving into something that is going to be the next particular drawing in the assignment right here. I actually have a lot of different content for drawing this one. This next one is the bracket project. Now, the bracket project is something that is something I've been working with for years, and it looks like this here. By the way, can you see this right now? Can you guys see this? You probably can't. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me do a new share, and let me do this, and we'll do that. Can you guys now see drawing H?
Yes.
Okay, so here's drawing H. This is the next one, just to give you a little bit of background. We did drawing G last week. We're moving to drawing H. We're back to doing a mechanical type of drawing. Now this one right here, this one is drawn using several different fairly advanced commands in AutoCAD. Okay, so we have all that. What I typically like to do is when I'm teaching is I like to give a little bit of time to kind of like digest some of these. But right now we're going to continue on, and we're going to continue on with these editing commands. So this is going to be part drawing and part editing. So this is what we're going to draw right now. So you see this one right here. I have actually an entire video going step by step through this, how to do drawing H. So I have this. That's the first thing. Okay. The next thing is actually what I have us doing right here is actually doing it from scratch, where you actually make your own layer. So we're going to do that too. We're going to do everything on this drawing starting right from scratch. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here and do this together as we move along here. So let's go ahead and do it. So this is what we have. It's what we're going to start with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back to here. I'm going to share back over to here, and we're going to go back over to this. And I'm going to take us back to Blackboard. Now, please pay attention here. This is something I actually had a couple questions about. I want to make sure you're very clear on it. All the content that you need in this class is in Blackboard. And again, for these first few drawings, everything that we're drawing right now is that right here in the AutoCAD intro assignments. Okay, it's right here. So right here is where it is, AutoCAD intro assignments. Let me make that clear again. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to be sure that you're doing, okay, we want to go back to here. Let's go back to sharing it. And we'll go back to this. Okay, so we're back to here. And what I want to do is I want to show you this right here. So again, these are the assignments we're doing, AutoCAD intro assignments. That's what we're working with right now. That is where you download the files. Now, by the way, just to show you this right here, I print mine out. Okay, I print mine out like this. I do this because it's a lot easier. So all of them are in there. So there's nothing tricky about this. All you have to do is draw what's on there. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do. So now, how do we draw this one? Well, I go through this step by step on this right here. So we're going to work on that. We're going to clear all that and go to here. And the first thing I want to do right now is we go through this, and I actually have a printed tutorial right here, bracket project printed tutorial. Well, that's kind of cool. So let's take a look at the printed tutorial so you guys can see this. I actually used to do this for a living. I used to make these kind of things. And so I'm going to show you how to use this right here. So this is something you can print out, and then it will give you step-by-step instructions as far as how to do this. And I think I did this. I think I did, yeah, right here. So what I've got right here, this is what you print out right here. Okay, you can see that. It says bracket project drawing H, and then it shows you these different things. Okay, it kind of shows you this and goes over that. That's what I have made for you. So you've got a video, you've got tonight's video, and you've got a printed tutorial about how to do this. So everything you need is right there. You just have to take advantage of it. So clear all drawings. Now, if you don't have a printer, then that's kind of a bummer. You'll just have to swap back and forth between your screens. You can still do that though. It's not too hard. You guys can all do this. So let me show you what this looks like. If you go to the Bracket Project Printing Tutorial and if you download it, which we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and download it. And this goes ahead and opens up right here. And this is what I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at it. So what I've got here is Bracket Project Drawing Age. This is a project for people learning AutoCAD. This ties together some of the basic and more advanced editing commands. And at the very last page shows what it looks like when you're all done. All right. So that's the end. Okay. So let's see. How do we make this cake? How do we make these cakes? So first of all, I'm not going to use a normal template. I'm going to start with the AutoCAD default template because in this particular case, I want to show you guys how to make layers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that for you guys. So the first thing is you start the drawing by clicking on the new command. Looks like that there. Okay, now by the way, you can download this PDF and print it. I already said it, but I'm saying it again because a lot of people say, well, you never said that. Yes, I did say it. I'm going to say it several times. So for those of you who already heard it, please bear with me because not everyone hears the first time. So we're going to do this. We're going to start AutoCAD and we're going to start a new drawing and we're going to use the ACAD templates. Let's go ahead and do that. So back to AutoCAD. So I'm going to go back over here, do a new share. And I'm going to go back to AutoCAD and here I am here. And this is what we have here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get out of oh, the screen share, resume the share. If I can, no, not working there. So what we're going to do is do a new share over to, let's try this one. See if it looks that better. Okay, can you guys see AutoCAD now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to close out of here. Save changes. No, I'm going to close out of here and I'm going to go back to here. Now here we are. Now what I'd said before is we go up to new. Where is new? Well, new is actually going to be located right up here. I'm going to click on this right here. New is right up here. New is this tool right up here. You could also get it by going to the application menu, the application menu and getting new off there, but you're going to use new. So we're going to start new. And once we start new, it then asks us for a template. This is normal AutoCAD. Now stop, full stop. We talked about a template. I'd said that I've made some templates for you and I have. In this particular case, I'm going to have you use the default AutoCAD template just so I can teach you how to use layers. So you guys, you got to learn how to make layers sometime. Now we're going to do it. So you'll notice that right here, acad.dwt is the default. That's the one you want to use. acad.dwt. That's what it looks like. Not ACAD 3D, not ACAD named, acad.dwt. It's the third one in the list, and you hit open. Now once you've hit open, you've got that going.
I don't have that file.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't have it either.
You don't have it. You don't have the acad.dwt?
No.
What version of AutoCAD are you using? Are you using the Mac version?
Not me.
No.
Okay, so
No,
when you start, okay, so when you start, it's not, it doesn't give you, does it give you a list of anything?
Yeah, it got ACAD. It got ACAD 3D, ACAD ISO
Yeah,
3D.
ACAD is what you want.
But you said dot.
Oh, the thing is, that's a Windows setting. In Windows, you can either set up so that it shows you what's called a file extension. Let me explain something here for those that are not familiar with that. A file extension is how Windows understands what kind of a file it's looking like. Let me give you an example. If you've ever used, have either of you ever used Microsoft Word?
Yeah.
Okay, Julius,
Yeah.
have you used Word at all? Ever used Word?
Yeah.
All right, now, when you save a drawing in Word, it gives a file extension. The file extension is the last 3 letters, okay? Sometimes it's 4, but usually it's 3. And can you tell me what the last 3 letters are on a Word document? Do you know what those are typically?
Doc or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly right. .doc. .doc. Let me just give you a quick example as far as how that works. So if I'm over here in Word, I'll just show you this real quickly here. I'm going to open up Word just to give you what the heck. Why not show you how that works? And if this will work for me, I'll go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do this and open Word if that'll let me do that. Close Word. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully this is going to let me do this. All right, let's try that one more time. We'll try Word. See if this works. Nope, that's not working. Let's try it one more time. I might have too many things up here. No, it's not letting me do that. All right, so I can't do that. So unless it lets me do this. No, it's not letting me do that. Okay, so forget it. In any case, I don't want this thing to crash again. Okay, in any case, the last three letters are the actual file extension. So if it says ACAD, the DWG is inferred, or the DWT is inferred. So I just opened up acad.dwt. So just go ahead and use the ACAD, okay? Use the ACAD, all right? And it should be a blank screen like this. Did that work okay, Kelly and Julius?
I can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen now.
You
Okay.
have to go back to AutoCAD.
Well,
Yeah.
back to AutoCAD. But okay, so once you click on ACAD, it should look like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have that, Julius?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go back to this. And again, I have this all written out. Typically, in my classes, I give all this content out, but since we're doing it this way, you're going to have to print the stuff up on your own. But the next thing I'm going to do here is, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my layer properties. Now, layer properties are actually located right up here. Let me go ahead and find those layer properties just to be very clear on it. Layer properties are right here. You're going to click on this. Layer properties right there. You're going to click on layer properties. Now, once you click on layer properties, it's going to open up this right here. This is your layer properties right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to work on something here. And what we're going to work on right there is layer properties. Okay, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create some layers, okay? So once you do this, you may have to move your layer properties palette around a little bit. In any case, right now you've got it right here. So to make new layers, you have to use the new layer command, which is going to be right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, come on you, all right. Okay, let's do that, okay. Let's try this, let's not do that, all right. All right, we'll do that. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is over here one more time. All right, one more time. All right, over here. You're going to go ahead and you're going to create a new layer right here. That's the new layer button. So when you click on that, it's going to start a new layer. So I click on here, and it gives me a new layer that's called layer 1. I'm going to create 3 layers. And I used to like to use all caps just so that I know what I've made. And name them object. And here's something when you're making layers. If you press a comma, if you use the comma button, it'll let you create an additional layer. So you click on object, comma, dimensions, comma, text. All right, you got those. Dimensions, object, and text. So it's going to be those 3 right there. Okay, so I've got those. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is if I want to put these in alphabetical order, I can click right up here on the header, which is name. When I click on there, it's going to readjust them. So I'll have 0, dimensions, and object and text. Now I'm going to change the color for dimensions by clicking right here. Now I'm going to be going kind of quickly right here to go through this. So you guys may just want to just kind of like sit back. Once you get your layers created, I don't mean to go too fast, but it's just like I've got to kind of like, I've got a lot to cover here. So I will try to go step by step. So if it reaches a point where you're having a tough time keeping up, don't worry, because you're going to have the video to go over it again. I'll just show you the basics. Just kind of follow along here. This is going to take about 10, 15 minutes to work on right now. And again, don't forget, you have the document step by step. Everything I'm doing right now is step by step in the document. So now that we've done that, I've created my 3 layers. I got 3 layers right now. Now to make a layer current, I'll go ahead and close out of there. I can go up here and I can make my layer object current. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And I can go ahead, and this is how you make an object, a layer current. You go down here, you got dimensions, you got object, you got text. I'm going to click on object. So I click on object, it's now my current layer. You can now see object is right there, in case you have that. Now I turn the page and I go to the next thing. Now I'm going to start the line command. And now what I'm going to do is the line command, I'm going to begin to draw the frame of this particular object. So what do I mean by the frame? Well, what I mean is this right here. I'm going to go here, I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go back over to this. And I'm going to share that. Okay, now can you guys see this drawing H again?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to draw this bottom line right here, and I'm going to draw that line. Okay, so that line, I'm going to start over here. I'm going to round the corners later, but for right now, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go 9.5. We'll just assume it's inches. So 9.5 inches horizontally, and then 3.5 inches vertically. 9.5 to 3.5. So that's what I'm going to do right now. 9.5 to 3.5. And again, this is right in your documents. So I'm going to go right back to here and right back to AutoCAD. And let's go ahead and do that. So I start my line command. So I start my line command, and I'm going to click here. And it doesn't matter where I click. I'm going to go over, I'm going to type in 9.5 and hit my enter key. And then I'm going to pull my cursor straight up. I'm going to type in 3.5 and hit my enter key. Once I'm done with that, I can go ahead and, okay, I'm going to press enter again. And at that point, that's what I have. So I have those two lines. And what I've started is a basic framework that I'm now going to use. Now let's do a little bit more investigation here. Let's go back to here. So going back to here, what we just did is we created this 9.5 and we did this 3.5. So we got that much. What we want is an entire frame right here. So what we want to do is we want to basically use some of the more advanced tools in AutoCAD to copy those lines. Now, you could use the copy command, and that worked fine. You could copy those lines. You could do that. You could also use what's called the offset command. And I'm going to use the offset command right here because the offset command allows you to create a copy a certain distance away from your objects. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to offset this line over here, this line over here. I'm going to offset it to the left a distance of 9.5 to give me this framework. I'm going to offset this bottom line up 3.5 to give me that. So essentially, the offset is simply a copy command a certain distance away. So it's really useful. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is useful for a lot of things. So back to here, I'm going to use the offset command. So the offset command, again, I have this drawn out for you guys, and it's something that we will go ahead and try to find here. Okay, all right, over here, we'll go to right here, and offset is right here. It looks like a sideways U, like that right there. That's the offset command. So I'm going to use that. So I click on the offset command. Now I click on the offset command. It asks me to specify an offset distance. Now full stop. What would my offset distance be? Well, my offset distance is going to be the distance that is between those two vertical lines. We already said that's 9.5. So I'm just going to say 9.5. And again, there's other ways to do this. I'm just doing it this way to show you guys how to do this. So I'm going to type in 9.5. So I type in 9.5. I just type it in. I didn't do anything with my mouse yet. So to get AutoCAD to accept that value, I type in 9.5. I then hit my enter key. Now it's saying select the object to offset. So what do I want to offset? Well, it's going to be this vertical line here. So I click here. Now when I've done that, you'll notice I can offset it this way or this way or this way. I want it to go this way, so I click there. Now at that point, that's done. Now what I want to do is I want to offset this bottom one. We said that was 3.5, so I'm going to click on this one. So I click there, and you'll notice it's going up right now, and it says, okay, what is the distance? Well, say 9.5. I can change that right now. I don't have to use that. I can type in 3.5 now. So I type in 3.5 and hit enter. And then at that point, it goes ahead and it does that. So I went ahead and got it to offset that distance. You could also retype the distance in, or you could just draw the lines. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I just did this so you guys could see how this works. So I'm going to end the command right there. So I've got that much. I'm going to save this as drawing H, just so that we're all in the same spot. So drawing H, it shall be. All right. Here. Okay, drawing H, render, like that. Okay, so I've got that. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to our drawing, just so you guys are clear on it. Go back to here, and I'm going to go back to see what this looks like. So what do I got to do next? Well, the next thing is this line right here. This is like where my circles are centered. So I kind of need to have some kind of geometry to place my circles. So I'm going to draw a line at 2.25. But if I use my offset command, I can just offset this bottom line up 2.25. Then I'll have a framework in place. So that's what I'm going to do, 2.25. So back over to here, I'm going to offset that bottom line 2.25. So I'll go back up to offset. We already saw that command. I go to offset. You could also type the letter O you type the letter O, that starts the offset command as well. It asks me for a distance. I'm going to type in 2.25. So 2.25, hit my enter key. Okay. Then I click on this bottom line and I offset that up there. So I've got that. So that I've got that framework there. Now my frame is almost complete. I just need a couple more lines here to center them on, which is right to here. Now at this point, you're going to notice that I've got this line right here. I got this. So the circles are centered 3.25 from the left and from the right. So I'm going to offset these lines 3.25 over. So watch this. Back over to here. I'm going to offset those 3.25. So back over to here. Offset one more time. So go to my offset command. And I'm going to change my offset distance to 3.25. 3.25, hit my enter key. And I'm going to go here, over, and here, and over. Okay, I could have also copied them a certain distance. I could have also drawn them. Okay, so there's more than one way to do this. I'm just showing you more commands. That's offset. Offset is a great command. I showed you the offset command actually last week. Remember we used it to draw drawing G, and we took the outside boundary of the building and we offset it inside. That's what we just did there, only with linear objects, which are lines. Okay, so we got that. We'll do a quick save. So we got that. So now what that does, that gives me a foundation right here. So I got that offset right there. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is, now that I've got that, you'll see that again, this goes right through it step by step. The tutorial I have goes right through, talks about that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw circles, okay? And the circles on here are actually have a certain diameter. Let's take a look at what those are, okay? Because that's going to give us some foundation for what we're doing here. So over here, you'll notice right here, it tells me that I got 2 of these circles at a diameter of 1. And they're centered right there, 2 with a diameter of 1. So I've got that going on. So back over to here, and I'm going to go back over to here, and I'm going to go to circle, and I'm going to use center diameter. Notice there's center radius and there's center diameter, and they both do different things. The reason why is a radius measures from the center to the outside of the circle. The diameter is the whole distance. So this one's going to be a diameter. The question?
I can't see AutoCAD.
Hey, Julius, is there a question?
Yeah, I can't see AutoCAD.
Okay, none of you guys can see AutoCAD? Okay, let me go back to here. Let's go back to here. Thank you. Okay, back over to here. Okay, so we're back over to here. So what we're going to do, thank you for sharing that. Can you guys see AutoCAD now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's see how this works. Okay, I better not do that. Okay, so we're going to continue on with this right now. So what we're going to do right now is up here with circle, you got center radius, center diameter, and so forth. And we want to use center diameter. So click on center diameter right here. Now when I do this, I'm going to hover my circle right there, and you'll notice that when I do that, an X shows up. X means intersection. So I click on where they intersect, and then I type in the value, which is 1. Okay, we got that. So now I'm going to repeat that. Now let me show you something here. If I repeat the circle command, it defaults to the radius option, which is what I don't want. So so that's one thing I could do. I could right click on it, but there's another default that happens with AutoCAD, and that is when you're working with a circle, it remembers the last distance it used. So watch how this works. I'm going to right click and go to repeat my circle. I'm going to click on this, and instead of typing a distance right now, because it's prompting for the radius now, I'm just going to hit my enter key. Now when I hit the enter key, it gives me the same size of the last circle I had. Even though it's prompting for a radius, it gives me the same size circle. So I've got that. And that is giving us a framework. So I'm going to save that. So that's what we have right there. That is what we have, and that gets us through up to page 5. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Now we start to kind of like get more powerful here. So what I'm going to do right now is to make this look more like the other object, I'm going to use the trim command. Now where's the trim command? Trim command is actually located right up here. Trim looks like this. Looks like a pair of scissors, okay, right here. So we're going to use the pair of scissors right here. We're going to work on that. So we're going to work on the pair of scissors, and we're going to do this. So let's start that. So I go here, I click on the trim command, and then when you start the trim command, it just lets you start to trim pieces out. So I'm going to, okay, I'm going to get rid of these different elements here. And I'm just going to walk my way through here, trimming these objects out. And I go ahead and do that. And once I do that, and, you know, I've done this a lot of times, so, you know, I'm pretty good at this right now, but you guys may need to do it a few times. But when it's all done, it should look like this. And and at that point, you've got a basic framework right this, and it shows right here on page 5 of the tutorial right there. It shows you that it looks like that. Okay, so you've got that right there. So that's where you're going to get to right there using the trim command. So the trim command lets you do all that, and that gets you there. So again, the trim command is like the erase command, only it's more powerful because it lets you erase with precision. Okay, so we've got that. So clear all these drawings, go back to here. So now that I've done that, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very cool command called the fillet command. Now the fillet command allows me to do something else which is very interesting, which is where it's going to allow me to round. Can you guys see drawing H right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I've got right here is these corners are right now, they're kind of like where you see the red lines here. Okay, they're basically 90-degree angles, but I want to have them radius. Okay, so what's my radius? It says right down here my radius is 0.5. That's for these right here. The radius is going to be 0.5 all the way around. So I want to draw these with a radius of 0.5. And the command is called fillet. All right, fillet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the fillet command. So back out to here. And I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to share this again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fillet command. So I start here, and I'm going to use my fillet command. Where is the fillet command? Fillet command is actually right here. Fillet is right underneath trim. It's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on fillet. And when I click on fillet, it's going to ask me to select my first object or to give it a radius. So right down here, you see radius. Now, one of the things I want to talk about right now is to change the radius. I can do this 4 different ways. I can actually right-click my mouse and choose the radius option, or I can click right here where it says radius, or I can type in the letter R, or I can actually go ahead and hit my down arrow right here and I'll see radius. So I've got 4 different ways. I go through this in the book right now. There's 4 different ways to do this. So you select one of them. So you click on radius, and now the radius that I need I'd set is 0.5. So I type in 0.5. So once you type in 0.5, that will be the radius that will be applied to the right angles when I click on them. So I hit my enter key, and now it asks us to go ahead and start to use it. So I'll go ahead and go here to here. Look at that. Pretty nice, huh? So I want to repeat this. So I'm going to right click and go to repeat fillet. Now, rather than keep on doing this, I can use down here the multiple option, which lets me use the same option. And since they're all the same size, I can just use multiple. So I use multiple. And this lets me just do this then. I go through here with cool aplomb, like this. All right. And this is how we go ahead and make this work. And again, this is interacting with AutoCAD and making it all happen. And once I've got that, I've got a very sophisticated looking object. I'm going to save it again. Go ahead and save it, and we're going to continue on through here. So now that I've got that, it's looking pretty good here. Okay, so now I've got this, and now what have I got? Well, now once I've done that, I've got these circles. Okay, so I've got a circle down here. Now it just so happens that these circles, it tells me that there's 24 of them. And what size are these circles? Can anyone tell me what this symbol means right here?
Diameter?
Yeah, that means diameter. So there's going to be 24 of these circles with a diameter of 0.25. 24 with 0.25. Okay, so I'm going to draw one of them. I'm going to start, and the reason I'm going to do this is because it's going to make your life easier. I'm going to start down here at the lower left corner. Now, it just so happens that this blue circle actually is at the center point of this radius. So all I have to do is find the center point of that particular arc, and that's where my first circle with a diameter 0.25, that's where that's going to go. So once I have the first one, the rest gets pretty easy. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to here, and I'm going to draw that first one. And so I'm going to go to here. So now I'm going to go back here. So I'm going to go to circle, and I'm going to use center. Can you guys see AutoCAD right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so center diameter. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to hover my cursor over this right here, and notice that it gives me that plus sign. That's where I want it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. Boom. I click there, and now I've got this. So I can go ahead and make it whatever size I want. And we'd said, who remembers the size? What was the size of that circle?
0.25?
Yeah, 0.25. So I do that. Boom, I got that in place. Okay, so I've got one. So now I could either use the copy command and copy them around. I could do that, but there's, like, I'll just show you how I do that. If I went to copy, I can go to copy, and the distance between these is all going to be 0.5. So I click here, I go here, and I can say, okay, 0.5, boom. Whoops. Try that again. 0.5, boom, like that. Okay, see that? And I could say 0.5, boom, like that. Oh, it went ahead and did another one. So I'll say 1, and then I'll say 1.5. Whoop, but I got off. Okay, see, this is not necessarily, it works, but it's kind of obnoxious, okay? So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called an array command. An array command allows you to make a pattern of a copy. So let's take a look at what our pattern is here. What would it be? So it's actually pretty straightforward, but what you're going to see is you've got these objects right here. What you've got right here are these, okay? Can you guys see drawing H right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what you've got right here are 2 columns and 6 rows. Columns are like Roman columns, Greek columns. Columns go straight up. You have 2 columns, you have 6 rows. Okay, so it's a total of 12 on each side, 2 columns, 6 rows. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that. The distance between them is all uniformly 0.5. Everything's a half an inch apart. Okay, so that makes it pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the array command. The array command. Now the array command is located right up here. Array command looks like this. It looks like a collection of squares right there. So I'm going to click on the array command, and when I click on the array command, it says select the objects. Well, the object that I want to array is this circle. So go ahead and click on that and hit my enter key. And then, whoa, we're not in Kansas anymore. I go into the full-blown array command, all right? So what I want to do now is, now that I'm in here, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and tell it what I want. Well, what do I want it to look like? Well, what I want it to do is I want it to go ahead, I want to change the number of columns and the number of rows and the distances, okay? So we already talked about this, and so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to say the number of columns is going to be 2. I'll change that to 2. Now you notice that changed. I can go over here and change this. The number of rows is going to be 6. So I got 6. Now the distance between is going to be 0.5. Okay, and then 0.5 again. 0.5. And when I do that, they all come into place real nicely. So again, 2 columns, 6 rows, between 0.5, between 0.5. When I got that, it's perfect. Now when you're done, over here there's a green check mark. And when you have it the way you want it to look, you go ahead and click on it, and boom, it creates your array. Pretty cool stuff. So that saves us a lot of time. That saves us a lot of time. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. What command that we learned tonight could we use to put that copy over on the other side? What command would work for that?
Reflect.
Reflect, also known as what?
Mirror.
Yeah, mirror. Okay, very good. Excellent. Good thinking. Reflection, that's exactly it. So actually, it could be called the reflect command. In this case, Autocad calls the mirror command. So what we're going to do is we use the mirror command. Now watch this. So to use the mirror command, this should be pretty straightforward for you guys, okay? Because this is just basically what we did before. And what we're going to do here is we are going to go over here and we are going to use the mirror command, which is right here, okay? Well, that we looked at before. And what we're going to do now is we're going to click on mirror. So when you click on mirror, it says, what do you want to mirror? Well, here's the thing. When you create an array, the default setting for an array, you don't have to do it this way, but the default setting for an array is to create them all as part of, they basically group them together. So I'm going to click on there, and all of them are selected. Now, in AutoCAD, we've learned something about the syntax. How do we tell AutoCAD we're done selecting?
Right click.
Yeah, you right click. That's right. So right click. Now, here's where we get into the mirror line here. So I'm going to put my cursor right here. This is, again, we talked about where would I fold it? I'd fold it right there at the midpoint. So I'm going to grab my midpoint here. I click here. I pull it straight down. And when I pull it straight down, it's giving me that mirror line right there. So you see the mirror line. Boom, right there. So I pull it right down, and then we go ahead and click, and boom. Erase source objects, no. And there we have it, folks. There we have it. That is how we go ahead and put this together. That is a fairly sophisticated object right there, and you learn how to do it in week 3. Right? Well, you guys can do it. You guys can do it. I'm confident you guys can do it. And whether you guys are believe it or not, I believe it, because I've done this many, many times, and I know you can. You are not going to be the exception. You will figure this out. You just got to spend time with it. Now I'm going to put a couple dimensions on here just to show you how they're done. Your dimensions, I changed the dimensions, the layer, the current layer to dimensions so that they show up on the red dimensions layer. So I click on dimensions here. And we've learned a couple things, so I'll just go ahead and show you how to do this. You guys know how to do this already. When you're going to be doing the dimension here, notice that you don't want to pick it somewhere up here because then you won't get a full dimension. So you want to pick it here and here. And you're going to pull it up like that, and that gives you 9.500. Now, one thing about that right there, I'm going to explain that because I got too many decimals. We'll figure that out in a second here. So I've got that there, and I got another one right here. Go to here and down to here. Let's go ahead and go. Actually, I think this one's got to go over here. Where is this next one? Let's see. Yeah, over here. It's got to be this side. So I'm going to go from here to here. So I got that. Okay, so I've got that going on, and then I got some other dimensions that are going on here. So I'm going to go here now. I'm going to use diameter, okay, or radius. This is going to be radius down here. So I'll click on radius. When I click on radius, this means I just click on an arc, a particular arc. In this case, it's the radius that I made my fillets out of. So I'll go ahead and click there and pull it down, and it gives me the radius like that. It does it automatically, and it gives me the prefix R. I'm still getting too many decimals, but we'll fix that in a minute. And then we'll do that one last thing. We'll do diameter. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And when I do this, it gives me that notation where it says diameter. It gives me the diameter symbol. So I've got that right there. Now you'll notice that I've got some other notation here. So anytime you need to put in additional notation, we went over this before, but I double click on this and it lights up with purple. It highlights in purple. And that you can put in your other notation. I'll type in 2x and hit my enter key. And I do that. And that's how we go ahead and do that. And this is how we go ahead and put this together. Now, one last thing I'm going to show you right here, and this is something that it's going to help you out as time goes by, is the particular dimension styles being used right now has 4 decimal places, and we want to change it to 2. Change it from 4 to 2. So how do I do that? Well, easiest way to do it is go here to annotation. Right here under annotation, see under here, you've got a text style, and you got a dimension style right here. And the present dimension style is standard. That's what's being used right now. So I'll click on this, and that brings me in the dimension style dialog box, and you'll see that standard is the one that comes up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify that. I'm going to modify it, and when I modify it, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change it right here and change the units format from, well, I'm going to leave it as decimal, but I'm going to change the precision right here to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to change it to 2 decimal places. I'm going to hit OK. And when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit close. And when I do that, boom, ain't that pretty? All right, and that's how you go ahead and do that. So the thing about your styles, and this is true of text styles, dimension styles, multi-leader styles, that when you're working with them, you change them and you're able to go ahead and to change them globally just by going in and making that one tweak like I did there. That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal right there. So we got that right there, and what we're going to do right now is we are going to save this to make sure we have it. And I'm just going to kind of leave that one alone right there. So that actually gets us through that assignment, which is going to be due for next week. And there's going to be, let's see here, for next week, there's actually going to be one other assignment, which we're going to work on next. We're going to work on this next one, which actually in some ways is going to be easier than this one. So they're going to be doing 2 different things. This one's going to be a bit of a workout using a lot of these new commands. We went over moving and moving, copying, rotate, scaling, and mirroring. Went through that. So now that we have this, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the next thing. So let me go back to our assignments, and I'm going to go to here, and we're going to go back out to here. Yeah, I guess we go here. Okay, and back out to here, what I'm going to do is I showed you this. We went through this bracket tutorial. And I'm going to continue on here to construction concepts, which is week 3. Now, week 3 right here, I'm not going to get into this tonight. And frankly, I can't really get into the blueprint scaling. Like typically what I do is in class, I have my students come up and I basically show them how to use a scale. And if you're not familiar with a scale, it can be like this. I've actually got one right here. This is a blueprint. This can be like a blueprint scale right here. And this is what you use to actually measure out blueprints. Has anybody ever used an architect scale or an engineer scale out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then this is
Use them both.
okay. That says a yes. Okay, for a few of you guys. Okay. Well, then that's a good thing. Okay, if you know that, that's what this is a review about. You don't have to worry about that. We'll get into this next week. But I'm going to do one more thing here, and that is this. I'm going to show you now that you've got a pretty good foundation. This next one is actually going to be actually a bit easier. Okay, this one you get a template. This one I actually have everything in here, but it's going to kind of reinforce what we worked on. So I'm going to work on this. I'm going to give you guys some time to work on it. So this is on week 3 floor plan 1 assignment. Okay, so what's floor plan 1 assignment? Let's take a look. Floor plan 1 assignment looks like this here. Floor plan 1 assignment is this, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do this, if I can. And let's go ahead and do this. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to download that. And I'm going to go ahead and save it to my desktop. And double click on it. Okay, so when I do this, I'm going to right click and I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is what I've got right now. So what I've got right now is I've got a basic floor plan. Now we know how to draw lines and polylines. We've seen how to do that. And that's really all this is. The only thing I'm going to do that's a little bit different at all is I'm going to show you guys how to put in blocks. Okay, blocks are something that you may have already worked with if you worked with AutoCAD, but it's something that's really going to make your life a lot easier. We're also going to learn how to move objects into position and so forth, but you guys already know how to do that. So I'm going to show you guys how to make all this happen right now. So this is the drawing we're going to work on. You're going to notice that the outside is 35 feet by 25 feet, and then there's a little porch area here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw that right now. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So first of all, what you're going to do when you're working with this right now is this is where you are going to go ahead and you are going to you're going to use a template. So let me go back to here because I got a template for this. So going back over to here, I've got this, and we'll go ahead and download this. I'd recommend you print this, by the way. I'd recommend that you print that, just because life is going to be easier for you if you print it. And you go ahead and print it, and then you'll have this available. So what I'm going to do right now is going down here to floor plan 1 assignment week 3. You're going to notice I've got floor plan 1 drawing template. There's a template here. You don't have to do this all yourself. So you always start with a template. Okay, so you want to use the template. The template's right here. You can download the template and then use it. Okay. In my case, I can't double click on it, but you guys should be able to double click on it. So you download it. You download the floor plan 1 template. There it is down there, floor plan 1 drawing template. So that's it. So what you want to do is when you start a drawing, then you would go out to here. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And I'm going to start a new drawing. And again, you can do it this way. You can go to new here or new there. They both do the same thing. And can you guys see AutoCAD right now?
No.
Okay, let me get you back on AutoCAD. All right, I'm going to go here. And can you guys see AutoCAD now?
Yes.
Okay, so in AutoCAD, we're going to go up here to go to new. You can also go to the application menu, which is the big red letter A, and go to new. So we'll go to there. And once you go to there, you've got acad.dwt. We used that last time. We're not doing it again. We're using the download. I just pulled in. So wherever you saved it, that's what you got to look for. Now, this is basic Windows stuff. If you don't know these, I would really recommend you kind of get familiar with how to find files in Windows. All right, that's something you can Google. You know, if you need help, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. But we'll go to here, and I'm going to go to my downloads. And here is my floor plan 1. It's right there. So we're floor plan 1. I'm going to open this. And I have my drawing printed out in front of me right now. Now you're going to notice right here, I did something very wonderful for you. I left walls open. Walls is your current layer. That's the layer I'm going to draw on. So I'm going to use a polyline, not a line, but a polyline. What am I going to use? A line or a polyline? Which one am I going to use?
Polyline.
Thank you. Thank you. Polyline. So go to polyline. And once I do that, I'm going to click here. And the first distance is going to be 35 feet. You have to type in the foot symbol, and then 25 feet. Okay, and then over this way, 14 foot 3. 14 foot 3, boom. And then it's got to go down 3 feet. So 3 feet. And then over 7 feet. And then back this way 3 feet. And then back over this way 13 feet 9. 13 feet 9. Boom. And then to close it, we saw this before. I can just right click my mouse and choose close. Now at that point, it's all one entity. I hover my cursor over it and I click on it. It's all connected. So we talked before about offset. Now here, how thick are the walls? Well, let's find out. I'm going to go back over to here to look at it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the object that I just downloaded. this one, I think it's this one, maybe. All right. And let's see here. Okay, it's not that one either. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll go back to floor plan 1. I thought it opened it up, but I guess it did not. So what I'm going to do here is I got floor plan 1 PDF. Here it is. Okay, can you guys see this right now? Can you guys see this floor plan 1 right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, look down at here. What is my wall width?
Five inches.
That's 5 inches. Thank you very much, Julius. So it's going to be 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to here, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go back to here, and it's going to be 5 inches. So I'll share this. Can you guys see AutoCAD now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to offset. Now I'm not going to circle it every time now. So I'm going to offset right here, and the distance is 5 inches. So I type in 5 and hit enter, and I'm going to go ahead and place this right here. So I'll place that there, and I'll go ahead and do that. So I got that in place. Now,
Wait, how did you do that?
I'm sorry, what?
How did you do that?
Okay, you start the offset command right here.
Okay.
Okay, so you start the offset command, and it asks you right now to specify the offset distance. And you'd said 5 inches. So we type in 5 for 5 inches. And then it asks us to select the object to offset, which is this right here. All right?
Okay.
So I click on it, and then I can go out or in. I want to go in. And when I do that, I've got my inside wall. See that? Now, okay, now that I've got that, I'm just going to throw a couple dimensions on here just to verify that I did it correctly. This is something that's just good CAD practice because you don't want to build on a bad foundation. So there I got that, 35 feet. I'm going to throw another one on here just to be on the safe side. Click there, and that one's 25 feet. So we're good to go. I'm just going to let it go. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a door. Okay, I'm going to show you how to put in the doors, and I'm going to show you how to put in the wall. So I'll go to doors first of all. Now, doors are actually, I made doors current. Now, instead of drawing this, I'm going to show you guys how to insert a block. A block is one of the most powerful things in AutoCAD. It allows you to put in a symbol that is actually representative of a particular object. In this case, it's going to be a door. So how do I put in a block? Well, you can do it a couple different ways. You could actually go up here to insert. And up here under insert, you could actually go over here and you could say block. And you could actually go to insert blocks right here. So I'm going to insert and choose block right here. And when I go to insert and I choose block right there, insert block. Let me do that. No. Okay, so right up here, I go to insert, and I got these different blocks here. See this right here? I got these blocks. I got my door, my window, my 5-foot window, and so I got all these. So I'm gonna grab my door. Now all my doors are 3 feet, so I'm gonna click on here. Now what I'm gonna do is this door has to be centered. So right here, I'm gonna find this point right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it over 18 inches to the side so that it centers itself along here. So I'll go over here, and go here, I'm gonna pull along here. I should be able to get an 18, let's see if that works. No, that didn't work, so forget that. So let's try it a different way. Let me try the insert a different way here. I can do it up here. You can get it right there by going to insert and then going to there. Another way I like to do it is type in the letter I. And when you type in the letter I, it brings this over right here on the side, which is actually called the block palette. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Go ahead and bring this in here, and I'm going to touch it here and pull it over. Now you'll notice that once I touch it, the midpoint comes on, and I could just drop it there and then move it. Let's just do it that way. Let's go ahead and drop it there. I'll just do it there. Now, that's got to be moved over, okay? That's at the midpoint right now, but it's not right exactly where I want it to be. So what I want to do right now is I need to move it over 18 inches. So I'm going to use my move command. So we learned about this. So I'm going to move, and I click on my door, and the door is what I want to move. When I'm done selecting my objects, how do I tell AutoCAD I'm done?
Right click.
I right click, thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and pick here. I'm going to pull it over. I'm going to type in 18 for 18 inches like that. And now I've got that perfectly centered right there. Okay, so that is centered right where it should be. Okay, that's actually where that should be. I think that is correct. Let's find out. Let's find out by doing the dimension. It should be. If it's not, then I'll move it. So I'll go ahead and go from here to here, 2 feet. And I'll do it over here again, here to here. And that's a line. I'll do it here, here to here. Okay, and you always want to check your dimensions. So that's actually there correctly, okay? Now that I've done that right here, one thing that you'd want to do to kind of clean up a little bit is you would continue on here and you would go ahead and I've got these, I'm actually going to pull these away from here a little bit, just kind of like grab these and I'm going to go ahead and pull them. If I can do that, I'm going to go ahead and move them if I can. I think I can. And I'm going to pull them down. There we go. So that string of dimensions that's pulled down. And what I'm going to do is to finish these off, I'm just going to go ahead and use a line command here to go from here to here. And you can guess what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm doing this right now so that I can trim out, so I can trim out the door. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line and go straight from here, straight down. And then, oh, that's not working so well. Let's try that again. It's giving me a, I want to be straight. There we go. And now I'm going to use my trim command. We saw the trim command, and I'm going to trim out here and here. Pretty easy. Then I got that. So that is how you put in your blocks, and they'll be the same. You've got interior walls and so forth, which I'll show you how to draw one of them, just so you guys get the idea. So as I go into here, I'll go ahead and draw this upper right wall. And so you'll notice that my distance here, I'll go back out to here just to show you what that is. And out to here. Okay, now out to here, you're going to see that this is 13 feet 11 inches over here. So it's down from here 13 feet 11, and then it's over this 10 foot 2. So 13 feet 11 and 10 foot 2. That's the inside of that wall. 13 feet 11 and 10 foot 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So back over to here, I'll start my line command. I start my line command, I'm going to touch it here without actually clicking, all right? And I pull it down, and I said 13 feet 11, boom. And I click, and then I go ahead and pull it over. It finds that. I could also draw the line too. And this is just, I'm just trying to show you shortcuts here too. 10 foot 2, like that. Then I go ahead and pull it up. And when I do that, boom, that's in place. And that's the inside wall. And then what I can do is just offset those. And again, 5 is my offset. I can just go ahead and offset these walls like this, like that, and like that. Okay, when I've done that, I've basically done that, and then I'd have to trim out the walls and so forth. But that's how I'd go ahead and place these different walls, and then I could, you know, do the other things that I could do. I could actually use my fillet command with a 0 to go ahead and join these right here, like that. Okay, just to show you how that all works. So then you got that, and then you place the door and trim it the same way. I'll show you how to place the windows, and that's going to be it. So windows right here, you'll notice I got some 4-foot windows and I got some 5-foot windows. So this 4-foot window on the back, I'll show you this one. And we'll go ahead and place that one and then let you guys begin to work. So back to here. And what we got right here is you have here, over here, you've got this 4-foot window right up here. Can you guys see this right now? Can you guys see the floor plan one?
Yeah.
Okay. So up here, what you've got is at 4 foot, you've got this, it's 12 feet 9 centered. 12 foot 9 centered. So the 4-foot window is 12 feet 9 from its center point, from the edge of the building. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And when I go back to here, you guys will get the point here. Then it's just going to take some practice to get these right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this. And I'm going to go back and do this. So let's see, how do I do that then? So I change my layer to windows. I click on the 4-foot window, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it and touch it here. And I'm just going to go ahead and so it picks it up. It should pick it up. And I'm going to pull it over to the side. Let's go ahead and get it. So now you see it's tracking. Whenever you see that tracking vector, that's a good thing. That means AutoCAD's going to let you measure it over. And I'd said the distance is 12 foot 9. So 12 foot 9, and I hit my enter key, boom, and it drops it. Let's see if I got it. Let's see if it's in place. And if it isn't, you can move it, okay, because you guys know how to move it. So now it's going to be just putting in dimensions and figuring out how to place these things. So this is going to be a little bit, there we go, perfect. So this is going to be how this works. And I've set these blocks up perfectly for you to be inserted. Now, by the way, I also have a bathtub right here. Just go ahead and drop that in. And I got a toilet, and I've got a sink. Okay, those are options you can go ahead and bring in here. And if you want to rotate your blocks, you bring them in, you can use rotation right here. And then as you bring it in right here, it's going to prompt you. So like if I go ahead and if I place this one in a certain location, as I go along here, I can click a point, and then it lets me rotate it. And then I can go ahead and measure the position. So that's how I use blocks. So blocks allow you to choose whether the rotation or not. And again, to bring up this block palette, remember the name, block palette, you type the letter I for insert. It's going to bring that up. And that is pretty much how you go ahead and work this out. So essentially, that is the basics right there. You have everything you need right now to go ahead and work on these next couple drawings. So what is due next week? Here's what is due next week. We're going to go back over here, and I'm going to make it very clear. And we're going to make it a clear thing. Over to here, what we're going to do is for next week, we're going to go back over to here. And what we're going to do is we are going to go to what's due when. Well, last week I gave you guys, I let you guys go ahead and I didn't have you guys do drawing H, but you're going to do drawing H for next week. So for next week, can you guys all see Blackboard right now?
Yes.
Okay, so we went through the quizzes tonight, everything up till now. We'll do the rest of the quizzes next week. But what we have to do right now is drawing H is outstanding. So I want drawing H for next week. Drawing H is due September 17th, okay? Now for this one, we are going to do drawing H only. And let's see here, I and J. Can you guys do I and J? Yes. No, I didn't show you how to do I and J. We're going to hold off on I and J. So let's just, so forget I and J. So we're not doing I and J. So let me just do this. Let me make sure this is very clear. And what I'm going to do right here is just to make it clear, I'm going to highlight this so you guys are clear as far as what I want and what I don't want. So what I do want for this week, I want drawing H. I want drawing H, and I want floor plan 1. Drawing H and floor plan 1. Drawings I and J, I don't want them next week. Well, I'll get them the following week. So that's what we're looking at right now. So we've got drawing H is due next week, and floor plan 1 is due next week. Is that clear, you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything we went over tonight is what is due. So then we got drawings I and J, and that's what we have right there. Drawings I and J, we're gonna get to next week. I have to show you some stuff how to do that. But we took some pretty big giant steps tonight, and we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna park the bus and give you guys a chance. So it's 8:20. We got about another hour and a half of class for you guys to work. And so what I'm gonna do is like what I always do is I'm gonna stop there, and I will be here for the remainder of the time. If you have any questions, please ask. If you guys want to continue to work on this on your own, that's fine. If you have to do something else, that's fine too. So anyway, this is now your time right now. So we're just going to go ahead. And like I said, if you can sign off right now if you want to, or you can continue to work, that's on you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop the recording right now because we don't need any more of this. So